there's something that I need to talk to you guys about. Before anything, I have received a lot of questions. I have received a bunch of messages on Instagram about how you can get started with real estate or Airbnb arbitrage. Also, another question that a lot of people have been asking me is how they can get started with the stock market. Now, the reason why I have gotten the same question over and over again is because I've been putting a bunch of pictures of my profits from the stock market itself on social media, and a lot of people are curious. Now, before anything, I want to tell you guys is that mainly I focus on real estate and I focus on the arbitrage side when it comes to Airbnb. However, now that I have some profits, I've been able to expand and actually put those profits to work on the stock market, and I was able to turn $15,000 all the way to $40,000 under 3 months. Well, 3 months and a half around. The thing when it comes to that is that this did not happen by accident, or it's not luck at all. It's definitely not. The thing about this is that I got into the stock market way back in 2019, 2020, and I was able to make my first $100,000 way back then, like almost 5 years ago. And then I got into real estate, and now I came back just so I can see if I still had the skill. Now I'm gonna show you guys everything. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm gonna be fully transparent. I'm gonna show my screen so you guys can see everything that goes on the back end. And I'm gonna show you my positions, I'm gonna show you my entries, my exits. I'm gonna show you every single stock that I have. Without me wasting more of your valued time, let's go and get into it. Okay guys, so now I'm sharing my screen and let me show you my numbers. Now before I show you my numbers, I want you guys to understand that I really value giving back to the community. I really value teaching others. I really value educating other people on something that they perhaps don't know about it. I'm not showing you all these numbers for me to brag. I'm definitely not. I'm just showing you this just so you guys can have a perception on that everything's possible. You shouldn't be limiting yourself to nothing at all. So let's go and take a quick look. Let me go and make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so my current position, I am at $39,000 as of right now. In the morning, I was 41,000, but it dropped a little bit. Still, I'm up $1,000 on the day, and I don't want to tell you this once again to brag or nothing like that, but I want to show you that if I did it, you can also do it yourself. And once again, nothing would have been possible if I didn't put the work. Of course, you got to put God before anything, and you got to educate yourself, and you also got to have the discipline and the courage to go behind of what you truly want. Now, let me show you some of the plays that I'm on right now. As of right now, yeah, once again, I'm gonna be fully honest with you. So, AMD, as of right now, I am down almost 50%. But thank God the holdings, it's not a lot. So I kind of fucked up with AMD, and once again, this is options, all options. I kind of fucked up with AMD due to the fact that I was swinging this position and I didn't realize that we had earnings the next day. So the technical analysis was there, the volume was there, people were buying it. So in my mind, my perception was, you know what? This looks like it's gonna go up. I have seen the same play, the same strategy, the same analysis being done over multiple times. And this time, by accident, I was not looking at the full picture, and they were reporting earnings the next day, and I got fucked. I really got fucked. Once again, I didn't put a lot of money. It was only $1,200. Usually, every single play that I go with, I put in roughly around 2,000 to 2,500, and I try to make roughly around 30 to 50% on every single play. And whenever I lose, I try to lose at least, my bad, at most $200 to $250. That's my max loss on every single play, and every single win is, of course, double than that, which is 30% to 50%. And usually, majority of the times, a lot of these stocks just go up by 70, 100%, which we did have with Palantir. I'm going to show you the graph and everything. Palantir, we actually went up 100%. And you best believe I took profits on that. That's why we were able to make $1,000 in today. And now AMD, I fucked up. However, the expiration is next Friday, meaning that I still have 7 days, 7 business days for me to actually, my bad, 5 business days for me to actually make my money back. If not, I'm probably gonna cut it if we break structure on price action. But other than that, AMD, I'm still holding. And Gogo, I got fucked today. Not really. I still took a loss of like $200, which once again, I'm following my strategy, I'm following my plan, I'm following my system. And Apple, I'm actually up right now. It's only $71, but it's not a lot, but I'm swinging this. I believe right now the stock is actually going up right now. It's after hours, August 7. It's around 9 p.m. I believe it's actually going up. So by tomorrow, if anything, we should be up 20%. So other than that, Nvidia, we actually took profits at 30%, 50%, and the last one we just let it run. And I think it stopped me out 30% once again. Other than that, what I'm doing right now is every time I win, I try to take the money back and I reinvest it into some long-term plays, such as the S&P 500, which I got 26% of my total earnings on my whole portfolio, which in reality is actually good. And then, of course, I do the same thing with the following stocks. I recently just bought AMD as well, as you guys can see the price. I bought 20 shares, and then Apple, I have 5 shares. Microsoft, I got 21 shares, and Nvidia, I got 45 shares. Every single share that I buy is with earnings that I make from this, which in reality, this right here is my cash flow machine, which is gonna be the options. Now let's go into the charts so you guys can see everything. This right here is going to be what I use to see the charts, what I use to see everything on the back end, whether it's any type of stock, Tesla, Microsoft, AMD, anything. So now this right here is going to be where everything goes down. Now I'm going to show you my strategy and how I'm able to find the stocks and how I'm able to play them, the exits, the entries and everything. So for example, let's go to Google. GOGL. This one, what I had going on, which once again, it was a beautiful stock. So my strategy pretty much depends on, let me just clear this off real quick. My strategy depends on the simple moving averages, which if you are familiar with the stock market, I hope you are. These are going to be the simple moving averages. So what I usually like to see is if the simple moving averages are stacked up, which is going to be the nines above the 10, the tens above the 200, and the 50. This right here, this typically means that the stock market is in a very strong uptrend, and that's what we want. That's 100% what we want. And of course, if it's in the other side, if it's in the other side, which is going to be upside down, means that we are on a downtrend. Now, what I like to see on this one is whenever a stock makes a big move, such as this, as you guys can see, which this one is a 22% move. And if you're playing options, that's a lot of fucking money, if you ask me. If you play options, you could have just bought it here. And then, once again, we're not trying to buy the bottom or sell the top. What we're trying to do is actually get a little bit of the piece of the pie in the center. No one can accurately buy the bottom and sell on the top. No one can ever do that. Not even the best trader ever. So now, the reason why I'm telling you that is my strategy revolves on stocks that have a huge move, as you guys can see here. Now, of course, we do not want to buy it here. We do not want to buy it here. We do not want to buy it here because at the end of the day, we don't know if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. What we want to buy is we want to have the odds in our favor. How do we do that? Is we want to wait for the stock to actually come back a little bit, come back to the 10 SMA. Whenever price action comes back to the 10 SMA, what we want to see is we want to see a bounce back with some volume. If we do not see a bounce back, if we do not see some volume, or if we do not see a bullish momentum, there's no reason why we should buy it. So I remember back then, I think I bought some options right here, right before it explode up, and I made like 100% on this stock. And I sold it because I sold it around. I gotta go back into my activity, but I bought it right here, and I sold it around. I think here on the third day after I made 100%. And the reason why I sold it is because my expiration date expired that following Friday. And if you guys are familiar with options you can get fucked really bad. It's actually coming up in 2 to 3 days. I sold it around here. I still made a good amount, roughly around 100. I think it was 90, something like that percent. But remember, I always trim. I always make my first trim at 30%, then second at 50%, and the third one I just let it run. If it wants to go to 100%, it's fine. If it wants to come down, stop me out or break even, it's fine. But at the same time, the risk to reward, it's crazy once you're up 50% plus. So at that point, I just didn't really care, to be quite honest. But it was my fault because look at this. This stock just kept going up, 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 up. Now we have a second opportunity, which now it's actually coming back to the 10 SMA, which in reality, what we can do right here is, remember, we want to play super smart. We want to make sure that we have volume, and we want to make sure that people are buying the stock. This is not going to be a 17-year-old with Robinhood just buying 2 to 3 shares. These are going to be investors. These are going to be people actually buying huge amount of money, like putting like 10 million, 20, 30, 20, 30, $50 million, or even up to $1 billion. Who knows? In reality, I don't really care. What I care is about the people are buying it, and that I want to see it move, and I want to see it move going up. Now, what I did do out here in Google, which it looked great, but it stopped me out. Let me just show you right here in the 5 minutes. I bought it yesterday. Let me go back. So as you guys can see here, this yellow line is the 10 SMA. So the S&P 500 was going up, and as you guys know, if the S&P 500 is moving up, that means that Google and your other top 10 stocks are also going to be moving up, which in reality, this was actually moving up. It was moving up. So what I did is, okay, we see some volume coming in. I decided to buy some options right here as soon as we came to yesterday's high. So I bought it like around here. It was fluctuating a little bit. Then the stock market closed, and overnight it went up. In reality, this was today. I could have sold my options today. I think I was up 10-15%, which in reality was not a lot. But I could have sold it. But that's the thing, you got to follow your plan. Me, I didn't sell it whatsoever, so I just waited for it to actually stop me out a little bit under break even, and it stopped me out right here. Which at the end of the day, it was actually good because look at this. It kind of went up a little bit, but then it kept making lower highs, as you guys can see, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and it kind of started bouncing back a little bit here. Stopped me out for like a good $200. It is what it is. But now the stock that I really made 100%, it's gonna be Nvidia. Let's go back to Nvidia and let me show you. Just look at this. Look at this risk to reward. This is like a 2 to 3 risk to reward, which I took profits like around here. I took like majority of them around here, and then the last one, it was a breaking even around here, something like that. But now let me just show you once again the full strategy. We want to see a stock that has made a huge move, either to the upside or to the downside. Now, let me clear all these things up. Now, let's look at NVIDIA real quick. So, you guys can probably see that I'm using the daily time frame, and the daily time frame is going to be one of your best options. A lot of people just want to use the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 minute for them to trade, but you got to realize that you got to be behind the computer 24/7 and actually analyzing every singular buy and sell for you to actually make a proper decision. And 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get faked out. You're probably going to lose more times than you win. And in reality, that's just going to fuck up with your psychology. It's going to fuck up with the way that you think, with the way that your strategy is playing out. So what I like to do is I like to buy here, forget about it, and just let it ride. Either it's gonna stop me out or it's gonna go straight up to take profits. That's exactly what I want. And but now, when you are on the, let's say, 1 minute, and you want to take a trade, I don't know. Let's say you want to take a trade right here, making sure that it breaks the high of day, and boom, as you guys can see, you guys just got faked out. Now it goes completely on the opposite way, and you're just losing money. So now what I like to do is I like to put the odds in my favor, which is going to be the high time frame. It's going to be the daily time frame. Now let's go back again. So as you guys can see, first things first, we want to see the EMAs stocked up. We got 10, 21, 50, and 200. Now all we want to see is we want to see a huge move up, which you got right here. and then we want to see a slow downtrend to the 9 to the 10 SMA, and we want to buy right here. As long as we have a lot of volume, pretty much telling us that a lot of people are buying, and we want to ride this puppy up all the way to the top. So I have like 3 plays that I played here. The first one was here, and I actually got a quick 50% all the way to the upside. And I think I sold it around here because once again, the expiration was gonna fuck me up. I could have held, but my expiration was too tight. I should have bought a expiration for like 3, 4 weeks. My expiration was like not even 2 weeks. I think it was a week and a half. But I bought it here, and my stop loss, if it was gonna take me out, was exactly low of day. And my take profits on this one, since I bought it right as it was breaking the 9, my take profits was right up on the highs, which is a 1.5 risk to reward, if anything. Let me just show you guys. Let me get rid of this, remove. So my stop, if anything, is a 1-to-1, but still, I was still able to make a lot more. And once again, options, this little thing right here in options is a lot. This right here was what I was risking, and this right here was gonna be my profit, which in reality, my profit came out to be around here, which was a lot more. And as you guys can see, we never came back down, ever. Now, the second time when I bought this, it was right here on this little thing. And now there's something that you guys gotta watch out for, and something that you guys actually gotta look out for as well. So this one, we have a lot of volume, which we like it. That's another thing that I'm telling you that we gotta make sure that we have. And this one, we also have a lot of volume once again. So you gotta make sure that we have volume before you buy it. If you didn't buy it on the first day, make sure you buy it on the second day as we're moving forward. So second day, if we're making higher highs and we're gonna be above the view up on this low time frame, such as the 5 minute or the 1 minute, whatever you want to use, make sure that you buy, and it's giving you some signs that it wants to go up. That's definitely a buy, plus a lot of volume, and it's touching the 10 SMA. It's a no-brainer. So I bought it here, and then I sold like 3 or 4. I sold like 3 or 4 options on the top, and then it came back down. However, this is the thing. If price action closes under the 10 SMA, you should straight up just cut it. Even if you're in profits, even if you're not in profits, cut it. That right there just means that there's probably more sellers than buyers. In my case, it came all the way to the 10. It never broke it. It never held under. Matter of fact, there was people actually buying it, and we went up again. And now the next day, same thing. And today is where we actually made a lot more profits, as you guys can see. We were able to go and make 52-week high. Now that's gonna be in the video. Another one that it was a crazy, crazy, crazy move. It's gonna be Microsoft. And as you guys can see, I'm watching for Microsoft once again because I definitely want to rebuy it. And it's showing me signs that it wants to go up a little bit. But I actually bought it right here, and I took this for like a 500% gain all the way to the top, and I sold it the next day. Let me just show you the whole trade. Um, Let me make sure that I make this as clear as possible. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Okay, we're in the 5 minute. Oh, no, we're not in the 5 minute. Okay, we're in the 5 minute. Now we're in the 5 minute. Okay, perfect. So as you guys can see here, Microsoft was pretty much going sideways for quite a while, right? It never touched the 10 SMA, which is the yellow line right here. It never really touched it. We're kind of there right here, but I missed it. I said, whatever, if it comes back down, I'm just gonna go and buy it. And the whole day, I was just waiting. I went to the gym. I was actually talking to some clients, and nothing really happened. Then I set up an alert right here, just like this. And I told myself, if it comes down to the 9 SMA, my bad, to the 10 SMA, I'm 100% gonna buy it. And if it's showing me signs that a lot of people are buying it and is making lower highs and it's above the view up, it's above the 10 SMA, I'm 100% gonna buy it. Now out here, as you guys can see, it came back down. My alert got hit. As soon as my alert got hit, I said, okay, back to the computer. And I didn't buy it right here. I didn't buy it here. What I want to see is I want to see a breakup structure. As you guys can see here, we're making lower highs. We're making lower highs. One, this right here was the high of day. Why the fuck is my shit not working? One, two, then lower highs. Then we're making another lower high and another, okay, my shit's not working. Another lower high. Then this was pretty much a sign of rejection right here. So price was never trying to go up at all. And then once we came here, I said, okay, if we don't reclaim the 10 SMA at all, I'm probably not even gonna buy it. But guess what? We came back up, we reclaim it. We rejected it at first, so I didn't want to buy it. But then on this candle, I seen a little bit of volume coming in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch out for it. And as we were coming in on this candle right here, let me see if I can make it bigger so you guys can see. In reality, it was a little bit bigger than this. Yeah, you guys can see the volume is a little bit higher than usual. And plus, we are breaking the 9 SMA, my bad, the 10 SMA. And not only that, but we're also breaking the 21 and the 50 SMA. And we're breaking structure, which now we're not making lower highs. We are proceeding to make higher highs. And it's looking like it wants to go up because now look at this uptrend right here. So as soon as I seen this, I was like, okay, we are reclaiming the 10. We're breaking all of the SMAs and we are breaking this structure right here, which the highs were like around here and rejection was here. And I bought it on this candle, which in reality, I think I bought, let me see if I can go back. I think I bought, I don't think I can go back, but transaction history last 6 months. Okay, there you go. I found it. Microsoft, I bought it on the 15th of August. I bought two of them at $6.76. If you multiply that times 100, that's $676. Now, when this happened, let me see, do we have a time frame? I think it should be here. No, we don't have a time. It is what it is. However, the next morning, as you guys can see, that $600, just one contract, by the way, it turned out to 28 it turned out to $2,800 per contract. Multiply that times two, and yeah, that's how much money I made. By the way, I was supposed to make way more than this, but I sold it a little bit late. Let me show you why I sold it a little bit late. By the way, I was not expecting this huge move. I was actually expecting maybe by market open a good 10, 15, 20% move, but this was earnings and it just moved past it. I was like, okay, I guess I guess I'm gonna take it. And once again, the whole thing that I want you to see is I want you to see the technical analysis. Yeah, I know it looks crazy, but once it's playing now, of course, it's not gonna look this crazy. All I wanted to see was a reclaim of the 10 SMA and a breakup structure. That is pretty much it. Now I have the SMAs here just so I can gauge the market. But in reality, we just broke structure and we were putting lower highs, and that is it. Now, let me show you when I sold it. The thing with options is that it can go up really fast, but it can also go down really fast. So this went from 513 to 550 in just matters of 2 minutes. I'm not even playing. I've seen that with my own eyes. I've seen all of that with my own eyes. I was just looking at the screen. It was just going up. I was like, when is it going to stop? For 2 minutes straight, it was just going up. And the candle just kept getting bigger. Now, when it opened, right as it opened, I'm not even playing with you. I sold it like as soon as it opened, but I didn't get the best fill ever. I didn't. So I was supposed to make $10,000 per contract. $10,000 would have meant if I would have sold it right here, like exactly like the first millisecond that the market opened. However, I didn't, because I was just making sure that the market was actually bullish, and I was trying to make a little bit more, which in reality I kind of fucked up, and I sold it right at break of structure on this pre-market low. So I sold it here. So in reality, I made $6,000 when I should have made $10,000. And once again, since the value on the option that I bought, it was depleting so fast because a lot of people were selling, this little thing cost me $4,000. This little thing right here, which it was like 3 minutes. Now let me go and show you another example real quick. Let me see another one that I currently have. I want to show you real examples that I actually have right now, right this second. Oh, there you go. No, that's not it. Oh, Palantir. Let's go to Palantir so I can show you how I made 100% on POTR. Look, you guys can see, like, I'm not even playing. Like, this is actually like the trades that I took. I took one here, which I think stopped. Yeah, this one stopped me out. And then the second one, I took it here, which, as you guys can see, I was supposed to take profits here all the way at 180. In reality, I ended up taking profits the next morning, which it was today, as you guys can see, at 184. And I made rough around 120% on the whole thing, on the whole move. And I bought it yesterday, as you guys can see. So I was risking this amount to make double than that, which I made that. Okay, so let's go and check it out real quick. Let's go to the daily time frame. Now, this has been on my list forever. I'm telling you forever, which in reality is like a week or two, but that feels like forever. Let me clear this out. Okay, now the reason why I'm looking at this stock is because we have made a move, not a massive move, but we have made a move, which, we go all the way back. Is actually, it starts out here, and we go all the way out here, which is a 66% move. Once again, it's not the craziest, it's not the best, but I trade the top 500 companies in the stock market. I do not trade any type of penny stocks, nothing like that. But when I do, I make sure that my risk is super low. It's like maybe $100, because penny stocks, they move super fast, and if they move fast, I'm not risking 1,000. I'm not risking $2,000, and I'm not gonna lose $2,000 just in one penny stock. I'm not doing that. Now, with this, I seen a massive move here. Of course, I didn't buy this, didn't buy that. When I bought it at first, it was right here. This was my first buy. It was on July 22nd. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that follow me on Instagram, they have seen how much money I made on this stock. And I even have highlights of all of it so you guys can see it. So I bought it here. We made somewhat of a decent move up. Now we came back to the 10 SMA. I bought it right as we were breaking the 10 SMA, making sure that we were breaking structure. We were putting higher highs. And my stop loss was going to be at the lowest price of the day, which it was 144, and I enter at 148. So now, since that's $4 worth of a loss, I think I only risked not even $800 in this because I didn't want to lose a lot. But once again, what I was looking for was at least a 1.1 or 1.5 reward to a 1 risk. So this is going to be somewhat of the grab for people that actually want to see visuals. And as you guys can see, the first day we just blew past it, and I think I made 30% on that day. I took like 2 contracts out the table, and then think that my last one, I sold it like around this day or this day, since everything was going down, and even the S&P 500 was going down. But now let's go back to the 5 minutes so you guys can see everything and have a better perspective. Now, this right here, this is it. Oh, I still remember when I took this trade. So, as you guys remember, this line was where the 10 SMA was at. Let me just make it yellow because I usually have yellow on every single one of my graphs. I was looking at price action to move all the way to this yellow line, as you guys can see, which it kind of did. Let me just get rid of this. I feel like I'm old, just trying to figure shit out. We actually came past it, and now A lot of people will say, why didn't you buy right here in the bottom? Why didn't you buy right here as we were breaking through? The thing is that we don't know if it's gonna keep going down. We don't know if it's gonna come back up. What we want to make sure is we want to make sure that the odds are gonna be in our favor. Now the odds are gonna be in our favor. Once again, once we break structure, once we come back up and we reclaim the 10 SMA and the trend, it looks like it wants to go up. So now this right here was going to be the break of structure for me at least. So this right here was going to be the break of structure. Plus we were making lower highs, as you guys can see. Lower high. What the fuck is going on with my, there you go, lower high, and then lower highs. And then we came back down a little bit, but other than that, we were just fluctuating the whole day. And I bought it right here as we broke this line plus the structure. So that was a double confirmation. Plus the trend is going up. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna buy it. I bought it here, and then my stop was all the way at the end of the day. And as you guys can see, the next morning we just kept going up. The next morning we opened up at 150, and I think I was up 10%, which is not a lot. And then we came back down. We never fully closed under the structure, and we came back down again. We retested it, and we actually held really well. That right there gave me more confidence, and it showed me that it still wants to go up. And from there, what happened? It just flew past through. And as you guys can see, I took some of the table at 30%, then 50%, and I let the rest of it just do its thing. The next day, it would just it just kept fluctuating, kept fluctuating. It kept going up, it kept going up, and then it came back down. And I think that my last option closed me out around here, which was a break even, which I wasn't really mad about it. Now, the last one that I took, I really want you guys to pay attention on. The last trade that I took on Palantir, which was recently, is right here. So, as you guys can see here, this stock has a resistance line. This stock right here has a resistance line at 160.69. So I was already looking at it. I had my eye on it. I make sure that if we ever break this line, I was gonna take a trade on it. 107,000%. I was gonna take a trade on it, and I was gonna put maybe $2,000 to $3,000, because now my confidence is a lot higher, because now I have a lot of confirmations. As you guys can see, we made a move up. After that, we kept rejecting this zone, pretty much telling us that there's some sellers, but we were not coming back down all the way through. Once again, telling us that there's buyers, and all I wanted to see was a break of structure on any of these days. It could have happened here. I don't really give a fuck. What I really want to see is I want to see volume. And this day, I kind of messed up because there was some volume right here. There was some volume, but for some reason, I was not looking at Palantir. I had my eyes on NVIDIA, Amazon, and all of that. Now, we broke it, and overnight, it just flew past it. And I was like, oh, fuck, I messed up. I fucked up. Now, of course, I fucked up because this has been on my watch list for the past week. To recap this a little bit, strong move up, come back down to the 9, a lot of volume coming in, and plus we have a clear rejection zone, pretty much telling us that as soon as we're breaking, we're just gonna fly through it. Let me go back to the 5 minutes just so you guys can see how this moved right here. This was the day that I should have bought it. And once again, it's making lower highs. It doesn't seem that it wants to go down. And I don't know why I didn't buy it, and it just kept going up. The next morning, it just opened up. I think that this could have easily been a 50% trade right off the bat if you would have bought it here. But I fucked up, so that's me. Learn from my mistakes. So what I did here is I actually bought Palantir this day, the next morning, as everything was opening up. This day, I bought it. I said, you know what? Everything looks good, but I make sure that my risk was actually good as well. I make sure that my stop loss was right under the lowest price of the day that we opened up, which was this one. This one, that was gonna be my stop loss, and from there my take profit, once again, it was gonna be the same, 30%, 50%, and in the last contracts it was just gonna go to 100, 200, whatever, or break even. And that's exactly what he did. Let me go back. Oh, fuck. I'm really an old guy now. I swear. I cannot even use a computer nowadays. So I remember. So what I seen here, it was a clear support line, pre-market, and I just wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna break that line. So I bought it right on the first 5 minutes of the trading day, which it was here. Yeah, I was a little bit low out here, but in reality, we didn't break any type of structure. I still held my trade. And the next morning, we just opened up right here and we made a massive move, which is a move of, let's see, how much was this move? This was a 5% move on just Palantir. Now, on options, that 5% could have easily been 50, 60%, which is crazy. And of course, I sold some of them out here as we were moving up. And the last one, once again, I put my stop limit at break even, or take me out at 100, or take me out at break even, which it was today. Today I was up like 80, 90% out here. And then as today went on, I took my last contracts around this area. Yeah, around this area I took my last trades. So I think right at this line I took my last contract. Thank God I took him because it kept going down. And and we'll see what's gonna happen tomorrow. Either it's gonna go all the way up or it's gonna go down. But I made my money and I'm good with it. Now let me show you the actual contracts on the video. PLTR. Let's look at the last PLTRs. Sell too close, sell too close. There you go. So you guys can see that I'm gonna be fully transparent with you guys. As you guys can see, I actually bought the same trade that I was explaining to you guys. I opened the trade on August 5th, 2025. I got 5 contracts, and every single contract was $327. In reality, everything was $1,600. And the first 2 contracts, I already sold it at $400. So I think that's a 30% gain. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the next day, as you guys can see, I'm not lying. The next day I sold it. It doesn't tell me the time, but the next day I sold 2 at the price of 432, and then right after that I sold one at 484. Then I sold another one at 538. Now we're more than 80% on profits, and the last one it went all the way through to like more than 100% on profits. Which I sold it today. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much my whole strategy. That's pretty much how I was able to take my portfolio from $15,000 to now 40,000. And hopefully, what I want to do is finish the year with $100,000 in profit, just from the stock market itself. If I'm gonna be doing that, I gotta make sure that I don't know. Let's do the math. I'm bad. Ironically, I'm bad with numbers. So 40,000 minus 100 is $60,000. $60,000 divided by 4, which we got 4 months. I gotta make $15,000 per month divided by 4. I at least gotta make $3,700 a week for me to actually get to $100,000 before December 31st, which I think we can make happen. And as of right now, before I actually close up this segment, so you guys can see, I'm holding as of right now, I'm holding Apple for tomorrow. And yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So far I'm 71 on the green. And yeah, other than that, have an amazing night and let's get to it.